We're back. Did you guys miss us over here? I know it's been a little while since we've been live over here, and I am working on fixing that. I am working on fixing that. Speaking of fixing, fuck your Orioles. Hey, Chris, what's going on, my brother? Oh, man, we got, how can I put it, weird gaming news. Normally I try not to go negative with anything, but I do want to talk about one of the biggest bitch moves that has ever happened by a company. And that's the only way I can phrase it. I'm sure by now, if you've been anywhere near social media, you've heard about Wizards of the Coast stepping on their dick. And that's exactly what they did. And it's about the only way I can put it. Somehow a consumer out there was able to purchase a box of one of their brand new expansion packs. And Wizards of the Coast sick the Pinkertons on them to go harass this guy, to go bully this guy, to go intimidate this dude, to get their product back. Claiming he stole it, claiming all this other crap, how they were going to ruin his life and do all this. That's bullshit. Now, lots of people attack Games Workshop for everything under the sun. Okay? When they screwed up and sent out a brand new Primaris Commander Dante figure for the Blood Angels, they didn't do anything. They just went, oops, our bad. Guy put it online. Guy was one of the first to ever have it, paint it. They didn't do this crap. Wizards of the Coast ruined basically this dude's life. Now, I like the fact that, from my understanding, he was really cool about it. Gave everything back. Wizards of the Coast, after they got their black eye, are sending this guy product and everything else under the sun. But I'm like, the fucking Pinkertons? It's the only way I can put it. These are the guys that shot, I believe, Jesse James in the back. Yeah. And if I trace everything back, I think they were the basis for the first bit of the Secret Service. But I don't know. That was like the biggest bitch move ever. And you've got some people obviously out there are outraged by it, which, I don't do collectible card games. And I'm pretty outraged by that, going, what the hell? Somehow someone screwed up around the order stuff, and this guy got something cool. Okay? I mean, the only thing that's ever remotely happened to me is over on my other channel when I've ordered knives. They haven't shown. I've gotten a hold of the company. They've sent a brand new one. So, okay. I mean, I had this weird experience with Games Workshop recently where I got a gaming store's order. The order sheet, not the order, but the sheet of everything they ordered in was something that I had ordered with Games Workshop. My order sheet wasn't in there, but all my product was, but their order sheet was in. I'm like, oh, well, this store in New York got this, it got this, it got this. I wanted to call them and go, hey, did all your stuff arrive? But yeah, I figured that might be a little creepy. But still, I wanted to touch on that. And if any of you guys have heard about that, what are your thoughts on it? And by the way, before we go too much further, Triple B, I hope your Dungeons and Dragons game is going awesome tonight, brother. Everybody who's coming into this late and later on and catching the replay, make sure you hashtag Replay Squad. You guys have earned that rank. You guys have earned that title, and I love every single one of you for catching this on the other side. Been weird. I mean, I've gotten new paints in from Pro Acryl, and I really like the swag. One of the best stickers, I swear, I've ever gotten right there. The paint works incredible. I know I've got to do painting videos on this channel. I feel like I suck at them. I don't have the really big fancy setups that other people do. But I don't know. I am going to work on that. I really, really am. I mean, as if we needed another Horus Heresy book out there. This one makes what? Number 55 in the series? And yeah, I'm almost done with it. All about the Death Guard and how they finally turned to chaos. But if you've been reading any of the other books, like the original 3, you already know what Moritarian did and why he did what he did. But did we need this big, long book to give him his whole backstory? I don't know. Morty's been one of those guys I've always taken a look at 40K and went, okay, maybe I can do some Death Guard. I've been a diehard, Son of Fenris ever since I took over in second edition. Seriously, second edition is when I first started. Right as second was going into third, like I've said before. So I've been a son of Russ for a very long time. You want to talk about getting outside your comfort zone? Because I can do Space Wolves in my sleep, trying to come up with a Death Guard color scheme. Or like when I did Karn the Betrayer, trying to come up with, a World Eaters. Yeah, World Eaters? Or was it Word Bearers? No, World Eaters color scheme with that red. And recently, as you guys have been seeing on the channel, I've been doing Adeptus Custodes, but we're going to get to them in a moment. I've got my little pro gamer tip and all that fun stuff for you for this live feed. I had to make a culling. I had to. One game system had to go. And as much as I love Conquest, Last Argument of Kings, I just had to cut ties. I love their customer service. It's nothing they did. I just can't afford to expand Warhammer 40K like I want to, Conquest like I want to, Marvel Crisis Protocol like I want to. There was another one that I picked up because it was cheap and I thought it might be interesting, not knowing Games Workshop cut all ties to it years ago. So Aeronautica Imperialis had to go. My Horus Heresy Space Wolves, I'm still picking up stuff for. So you see, it mounts up, and it mounts up, and it mounts up, and it mounts up, What's going on, underdog? I really do like that new name, bro. It's kind of fitting. It really, really is. But yeah, so I had to cut Conquest. Like I said, they did nothing wrong. They didn't do anything bad to me. It's just a financial thing. I just couldn't keep going down that rabbit hole. I love the miniatures. I love the fact that the city-states came out. Basically Spartan warriors with big giants and minotaurs. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But with everything that I'm trying to do and get the boy going on his orc force, and with the rolling out of, Warhammer Leviathan, or 10th edition, as everybody else is calling it, that's going to be spendy. I mean, I've seen everything from 150 British pounds, which I did the conversion thing. It's about 188 US dollars. I've seen some people telling me it's going to be higher up in the 300 range because Games Workshop is currently running a promotion. And they say the total prize value is like 250 pounds or something like that. There's going to be a backstory. And I can't wait to get on Steven's channel, that metal guy, and check that out this weekend. I really, really can't. That's going to be really, really interesting. I may have to break down and buy some more Jolly Old Fat Men. Yeah, so like I said, I had to make a cut. And Marvel Crisis Protocol is still affordable. It really, truly is. I just don't know if Atomic Mass Games and oh my God, Privateer Press can do good things with it. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm torn on it. The miniatures are fun to paint, especially with the Army Painter Speed Paint. Oh yeah, makes those things really, 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 really easy. You only need 8 figures, I think, for a force. So it's not like you need to go jump into a bunch. You get all that in the launch box. You get a bunch of heroes. You get a bunch of villains. So the launch box has you set to go, which is kind of funny because every other box set out there usually sets you up pretty good for a starter force, and it's what you do after. Like, I've never understand those freaks who can buy a launch box and be content with it. I always want more. If I can have 30 of something in a unit, I want that 30. If I can have 6 of this in a unit, I want that 6, which you're going to see here in a moment when I got to show you this custode on a jet bike that I'm doing, because they're a small force. They're an expensive force that can do a lot of damage quickly. You don't need a lot of miniatures, and there's not a huge range. So buying a couple box sets, like I've already brought to the channel, and I got a couple more coming out, you don't need a lot, but they're intensive, because making that gold pop, if you want to go with the straight gold, or if you want to go with the bone armor, or if you want to go with the black, you've got to come up with a great scheme that you can carry through. And yeah, so I've been kind of hinting with it, kind of screwing around with it. So here we go. I put together, 6 of the little Virtus Praetors. Basically custodes on jet. Whatever. Custodes on jet bikes. Okay. Basically, everybody's kind of the same. You get the big old Guardian Spear, you get the Misericordia. The only thing you can do is, do you want rocket launchers on the front, or do you want like the Hurricane Bolters? And of course, there's my captain. Okay. One of the big, huge things about painting a miniature like this is you don't really want to be putting your fingers all over it. Most of the miniatures that I have already attached to a base, like you've seen on the channel, so I can hold that base knowing I'm going to coat it in paint and hide all the fingerprints and all the scratches and everything else. With this, you kind of can't do it. It's okay. I went, all right, let's get a little bit creative here. They came with 2 different options for mounting in the Combat Patrol and the box set. So I really wanted the clear plastic. Okay. I just did, because they're jet bikes, and it's going to save me that extra step with having to base the bottom and worrying about taping off this little piece right here, because trust me, when you hit it with primer, it goes whatever color you're going to do. And if you leave, if you tape it all up and you're good, and you forget to tape it when you go hit it with the sealer, it turns an opaque white. So, okay. Built my little bases, got all 6 set up, ready to go. And I only had 2 of the spare flying pegs. So I decided, okay, let's take the other base they give you in the box set. What they suggest doing is snip a little bit off the nub on the bottom, and it's supposed to sit nicely in the little indent circle there. Now, granted, this is a different one. I'm going to get to that in a moment. These things were they kind of went together beautiful once I got them figured out, but I've never had this much problem with basing and everything else. So I got it glued on the bottom. And I remember from Aeronautica Imperialis, I gave it a full 48 hours to dry. I think I went a little bit too quick with some of the other flying bases that I was doing. And the planes kind of drooped to sides on the base. It just kind of moved. So I went, okay. It glued. I was like, this is cool. Kind of moved it a little. It didn't move. Doing a little test. I was like, this is great. This is awesome. Well, if you know me and you know my luck and you know some of the fun that happens, wasn't that awesome? Wasn't that fun? So I get the jet bike on there and let it sit. And I decided to come back half hour later because I want to see if it's going to sit on there, all that fun stuff. Maybe it might change my mind, because I've been going with like a Horus Heresy ruined Imperial Palace basing with the Astrogranite debris base covered with a Reichland flesh sheet. It gives it that good muddy concrete look. It gives it a neat urban wasteland look. Yeah, no, thing moved all the way back, and the glue, everything started coming up. So Chris went, okay, I got one more. Let's go get the pin vise out. Let's drill through the bottom, right? That's what everybody does. Hey, get your pin vise out, drill right through. The big drill bit that I needed couldn't fit inside the Army Painter pin vise. So I had to get the cordless drill, no big deal. Drilled right down through the hole. I even super glued the bottom, as you can see. I wanted this thing secure in there. Just great, wonderful, right? All right. 48 hours of drying. No big deal. It ain't moving. So I go to attach my little jet bikes. What's it do? Oh, it falls forward. Oh, it falls backward. Oh, it falls to the sides. Every single fucking one of these clear bases, that little knob right there, that's supposed to go right into that hole where you can see the green stuff right now. Didn't fit, wasn't snug. The only one out of all of those was the one on that first base that broke. So as I was spitting and swearing and stepped away for a little bit, then I thought to myself, hey, dummy, you've got green stuff. All right. Got out the little nubby, got it all worked down, scooshed it into the hole. Now, granted, I can kind of when I prime this, it's going to go over no problem. You know, I can probably blend it into the gold. And unless you know, you're probably not going to go looking for it. Pushed the little base in and then let it sit for like 2 seconds and gently pulled it back out. So if I did this right, I've got a perfect seal. All I need is a little super glue. Everything's going to sit fine. And of course, on one of those, I don't know if you can see that little crack too well on the arm going into the hand. It didn't want to sit too well, so no big deal. But the last one that I put together didn't have a little hand thing on the little steering column. Damn it. On the little steering column. So it looks kind of weird with the guy with like no fingers and everything else driving a jet bike. But it's Warhammer 40K. We're talking about guys that are genetically modified and people putting robots and all this other fun stuff. So, you know, you kind of got to let it slide. So there's your hobby tip. Don't totally give up. Use every tool that you have and try to make it work. Because the Custodes Virtus Praetor box set, I think was like $60. The Combat Patrol was $147. So between the two of them, you're looking at almost $200. Okay, now I'm getting some other units. Okay, I was able to flush out some guard. I was able to get a full unit of 10 of Sisters of Silence. I really think because I've got another box set and because I bought the Shadow Throne set. So I've already had a unit of 5 Sisters of Silence with the bolt guns, the prosecutors, I think they're called. I want to flush them out to 10 with the other box. And these guys, I'm debating whether I want to take the flamers and the swords or just make another unit of 10 of prosecutors because the more troops choice, the more elite choices and other fun stuff you can grab. But then again, 10th is coming out and everything's going to change. I'm hearing June, so that's what, 28 days away. Everything's going to get flipped, turned upside down. And yeah, I'm like I said, I'm getting the box. So when it comes, it will be brought to the channel. I don't know. There's just so much good hobby stuff going on, you know? I mean, I never thought I'd really feel for Mortarion. But reading that book, kind of. Which is why I like going back for some of those in that line. Because that's like number 55, and we're not counting the Siege of Terra. Where, no offense, anybody who's read those can't even look at Sanguinius the same way ever again. Oh my God. You know, and I'll admit, it was neat seeing some of the things like, you know, Zephan, him and Fafnir Ren going on, you know, urban mount assaults and clearing room by room of chaos guys. So here you have a Blood Angel and Imperial Fist fucking up everything in front of them. It's the one thing I've always got to give Games Workshop credit over, and it was something else that really made me like them a while ago. They have some of the most elaborate backstories and some of the best story writers. I mean, if you can't sit down with a Dan Abnett book and not fall in love with it, like Gaunt's Ghosts, come on. I got to find me one of those little box sets and make a kill team out of them. Come on, Imperial Guard kill team, Gaunt's Ghosts. Some of the stuff they did behind the lines, come on. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That would be a perfect kill team. I mean, granted, I've got so much stuff I've got to go through and assemble and prime and paint. It's that curse of, you know, your pile of shame, right? You guys know, right? You know. But yeah, I don't know. It's a really, really cool time to be a geek, for lack of a better phrase. You know, Games Workshop just got done with Warhammer Fest. I love everything I saw there. I love all the painting going up. There's the usual complaining over Golden Demon. There's always going to be that over the Slayer Sword. Everybody's going to have their own opinion of who should have won, who should have did this, who should have did that. The fact that 10th was there to be play tested, and they had everybody lined up to run through it. From what I understand, the wait time was like Space Mountain way back in Disney World. You know, you had a long wait time, but it was really, really worth it. seeing those miniatures, I'll admit it was really cool on the reveal, even though you already knew the Primaris Scout, that lieutenant in the Reaver armor. You already seen him with, the Tyranid skull on his shoulder pauldron and the blades that are dripping. You already got to see the new Primaris Librarian and Terminator armor, which I'll admit, for some of you guys out there, for some of your factions, I'm a little jealous over. Because I've got Rune Priests, and I don't know by my codex if I can take one in a Terminator armor. But then again, like I made fun with somebody on Reddit, the codexes are chapter-specific stuff for you. So if you actually believe that if you pick up a Space Wolves codex and you can't take Centurions because they're not in there, you need to go back and look at your Space Marine codex for now. Because I did see their year-long rollout schedule. And I'll admit, I'm excited. Space Marines Codex and Adeptus Custodes are two of the first ones that are coming out, considering I'm doing both of those. So it's always nice to have that right off the bat. I do like the fact they're talking about the data cards and the rules are going to be available for free download. But I want that. I want the official. I want the hard stuff, I always have. It's just really, really weird. I have always wanted those. It's just something about having a complete collection to me. Yeah, I'm the guy in second edition who really wanted to go around and grab every codex that he could because I love reading the fluff and the metadata. I really love that part where you can just get into it and learn about the hatred, but like between the Space Wolves and the Dark Angels, and just everybody hates all these traitor legions and why that's going on, and how legendary some of these Primarchs were way back in second, where they were talked about in hushed tones when you really didn't even care about Custodes or Eldar or Dark Eldar or other stuff. I don't know. So what have you guys been doing for like your nerding? For the all two of you who are watching, what have you been doing? I mean, have you been doing video games? Have you been doing any cool board games? I have got to give my friend Kevin, that a little redheaded, just Keebler elf of him, doing something cool about using his dice tower to determine what beard oil he's going to wear that day. I think that's really, really cool. Something different, something out there. So like I said, drop a comment. What have you guys been doing? Especially you guys are watching this later. Please, if you've made it to this point, drop a comment. Because I'd love to know what some of you guys are doing. I mean, I figured when I got into it, they'd probably do a edition change for Warhammer. It always seems to happen. It just does. I hope that Leviathan is not the end times. I keep hearing rumors that they may be bringing Jagatai Khan back. Hopefully Russ will be coming back. I mean, they've never been confirmed deaths. That's all I'm saying. They've never been confirmed. Last I know, Jagatai was sitting inside his little stasis pod in Malkador's little thing. Russ went into the warp to find the Tree of Life. So why can't we have more good guys back? I mean, no offense. Yeah, I was a little bit upset that Lionel Johnson finally woke up from his 10,000-year nap. But who can't look at that miniature and not go, "A Lannister always pays his debts"? Who can't? The face is just uncanny how much it looks like him, isn't it, though? If you guys have seen it, and those of you who actually had it in your hands, I don't know. I will admit I am a little bit disappointed that the Lion Guard is basically Blade Guard. Come on. Yeah. Sorry about that. But it also makes me wonder because it makes me go, how does Games Workshop get some of the best painters on the planet? The best miniature painters. What do we got here? Oh, dude. Yeah. How can I put it? Arkham Knight, Arkham's... all the stuff that came out on PlayStation, I've got. I love that stuff. I really didn't like the fact that Gotham Knights was PS5 only. Just like I really don't like the fact that the brand new Star Wars video game, Fallen Jedi or something like that, or Jedi Resurrection. I don't know. But you know the new one that's out, it's only on PS5. Well, the newer systems. I'm like, I really don't want to buy a PS5 right now because I can't really justify going to the wife and going, can I have $600 to go get a gaming system after we have a bunch of stuff for the 4 that I still have yet to finish? What may push me over that top is the next Assassin's Creed, how that comes out. But like I was saying, it always makes me wonder how Games Workshop can get some of the best painters on the planet. You know, go look at Duncan Rhodes, go look at Suggs. You know, she's recently broken away. Go look at Peachy for, you know, with Peachy's tips. And it's like they just go on to such bigger and better and huger things. But now Games Workshop is like blocking out everybody. And I don't get that. I get, okay, well, in a way I do because they don't want everyone to really associate them. But if you go back and look at the earlier videos, you can see the face and everything else. I mean, come on. You want to learn how to do miniature painting, you always go follow Duncan Rhodes, you know? I don't know. That's pretty much all I had for you guys tonight. We will be back. Seriously, I'm looking at making some major changes to this channel. I'm looking at renaming the show, and I'm looking at renaming the channel too, Across the Tabletop. I want it to have its own feel a little bit separately from my other channel, which if you can see that symbol right there, you know that. I want them both to have their really, really own unique identities because I feel they deserve that. You know, they're kind of like my little redheaded stepchildren that I still need to take care of if you can follow through with that. We do go looking for unofficial sponsors because I don't feel that this channel, I don't even feel my other channels anywhere near that, is at a place where I can charge an advertiser and go, it's worth your while to come on here because I can guarantee you this, but I need this amount back. So it's really cool that Copper Johns has re-signed up for another month. Freaking awesome of you, Tyson. Love you. You make incredible products. And we're going to work on doing some other weird stuff. Like I've got friends that have affiliate codes and discount codes. So I'm going to make sure that you guys get those in the description boxes and all the other stuff so you can save money by trying out our unofficial sponsor. Guess, yeah, right. Arkham Knight. That was the Gotham City fell and he had to run around the city, right? Oh dear God, that one took up so much of my time. I felt so incredible when we finally completed all the Riddler puzzles and put the Riddler away, so you could unlock the ultimate ending. You know. I'll reach out to Tyson. Seriously, I'll reach out to Tyson. We'll get that squared away for you, Chris. Okay? I will admit, I got jump scared when Man Bat showed up for that first time when you're swinging across the tops, and you climb it up, and he's like, Rah! Oh yeah, jump scared on that one. I was like, the fuck? But I remember feeling amazing when you took down Firefly for the first time and you caught Man Bat for the first time. Whoo! He was a pain in the you-know-what, trying to always had to fly higher and higher and higher and try to circle around to grab him. Oh, dear God. I really thought that one was the best one, like chasing down all the criminals that were glowing green, you know, so that way you could get map locations and all the little odds and ends they put in there, like Clean Industries and Ra's al Ghul and everything else. And even their DLCs, while they were short, they really brought something to the table for Batman, you know, which I always think is good because I hate it when you get a DLC like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, like the First Blade. I think that's what they called it. That one just disappointed me. But the second one, you know, the Fall of Atlantis, was huge. Yeah, buddy. I mean, it's like you pay all this money and you get 20 minutes of enjoyment. And it's like, why did I give you 50 for that? I've gone on a strip club, paid more, and gotten an awful lot less and felt better about it. But yeah, still. So I'm going to reach out to Tyson, Chris, because like I said, I'm going to wrap it up here. Guys, look for us. I'm trying to do an every other week kind of thing. Okay. Seriously, I really, really am. 1 week here, 1 week on my other channel. There's just when some things come up, I got to make some sacrifices. And yeah. But still, I want to thank all of you for watching this one. Seriously, it means a lot to me seeing how this channel is still in its really, really infant stages. And lives are kind of weird over here right yet because I'm only kind of really doing some unboxings and other weird stuff. I've been trying to reach out and get some really, really cool guests. But unfortunately, my channel's not at a subscriber rate where some people are going to say, okay. But you know how that goes. We're going to get there. I'm not complaining. Got to start somewhere, right? Seriously, we got to start somewhere. But I want to thank you for watching this one. I hope you guys have had a fun time in here tonight. I hope you've had a great day, a safe day. And like I say in all my videos, and I truly mean this, I really hope one day to meet all of you across the tabletop.